Hi, this is Rosalyn Kahn from IGTV, and today we have the distinct honor of working with an author who's written 15 books, and this one right here is a really special one. When you hear the story, your heart is going to break because it is the most beautiful story I've ever heard, and I want to give it up to this award-winning author. It's called The Gift of the Heart, and let's introduce Mr. Bruce Heller.
Hi, how are you?
And Anderew Heller. Sorry about that, Andrew.
That's all right. I've been called a lot of things. Bruce is mild.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so Andrew, tell us about this heartwarming story and about this book. I know you've received several awards for it. Let's start off with the awards first.
Well, my latest award was for the screenplay, which was at the Cyprus International Film Festival, which covers, it's a well-known festival which covers most of Northern Europe all the way to the UK. So that was really a big accolade for me to have made it that far. But we've also made it into the finals of approximately 7 other festivals. And we've been nominated 9 or 10 times. And we've made it to the semifinals. We don't know if we're going to make it into the finals yet until January in another festival. And then we still have 4 more festivals pending. So we're doing very well as far as the screenplay is concerned. Winning awards, people are really tapping into the story itself and really liking the way it's written.
Wow. Now, of this wonderful awards that you've won, is this the farthest you've gone with any of the various screenplays you've written? I know you've done quite a few. How many of screenplays have you written before?
I have written between television series and screenplays over 40. I've never really pushed anything until now, until A Gift of the Heart, because this one means that much more to me. It's very close to my heart. It means a lot to me, and I've put my purpose and mission behind it as a reason to get up every morning and face the day and really try to send a message to the world.
Could you give us a little glimpse of what that message is all about?
Well, the message is that, in short, we need to be we need to have a little bit more humility, a little bit more humanity, a little bit more faith, and care about each other more, because life is so short and we get so involved, self-involved in our lives, that we forget that there are other people out there that are going through, things that we don't know, because I guess from an American standpoint or an Indian American standpoint, you never know what someone's life is unless you've walked 7 days in their moccasins. So unless you're wearing someone's shoes, you really don't know what they're going through. And for me, this has been a very hard and rough road, but it's worth it. My faith drives me on a daily basis to see this made into a film. And the book is wonderful. The people that have read it love it. They love the story, and they can't wait to see the film.
Wow. That is so true in our world today. I always say you never know what the words you say, how many hearts that you can change. And is there a little tidbit that you could just give us a teaser of what one might anticipate in this book? Because there are so many hearts breaking in this world and the political climate that where, I wrote a poem today that was looking at what's happening in our world, and kind of my heart is breaking, and the engines are rumbling and the birds are singing, and we know we're at a climactic of God only knows which way it will go, and we hope that we'll rest in peace when it passes. But maybe you could share a little bit, just a little taste of what this book encounters.
Well, what this book really does and what the story really tells is the story of life today. It encompasses everything that happens in our lives in one story, entertainment wise, but it tells the true stories of, some fictional characters. Obviously, one Cuban immigrant that makes it to the United States looking for a better life, only to find out that it's not that much better, and has to, face a lot of uphill battles, including battles with his own child's illness, as we discover in the story. And then, it sends that message that no matter what color we are, no matter what country we're from, no matter what language we speak, that cancer, which is what this predominantly deals with, doesn't care. It really is indiscriminate. It doesn't care if you're an animal, a human being. It doesn't care what color you are. It doesn't care what age you are. It doesn't care what country you came from, what planet you think you came from. It's indiscriminate. It will kill you regardless. But what this story tells is that as a human race, there is hope if we look at each other and consider each other as a partner in this on this planet and try to help each other through our difficult times. And it tells that in a very loving story that sometimes the person that you look at that you may not like because of their stature in life, because of their financial position in life, they may not be the color that you agree with, they may not speak the language that you disagree with, may end up being the savior for you or a loved one because they will donate an organ to save a family member. And we, because we have this divide, we completely forget the abilities that we really do have to help each other and be kind to each other and not sit back and watch people suffer because, hey, it's not happening to me. But
Right.
I don't think there's a person on this planet that hasn't been touched one way or the other by not knowing someone or an animal or a pet that has died of cancer or has been affected by it. And it really does touch everyone on the planet. It really doesn't care what language or what country you live in. Cancer will attack you wherever you are.
I think you've hit it on the head because I can see why it's won so many awards because of that human factor of no one likes to die. But when you look at what disease does and the impact that it has and the way that it separates us, and it's almost, and you will go anywhere if you can find that one cure, that one person who has it. And sometimes we have to close our eyes, plug our nose, and okay, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, just so I can be. And now you have a special message that you'd like to get to the audience about your search for funding of this film. And I thought that your gift that you were offering to any institution or organization was really beautiful. Can you share that with the audience here?
Yes, well, from the time I started this journey, which is why I've been pushing it so hard, I decided to make it a purpose and a mission, which I don't believe, and I could be wrong, that no other project, film, or book has ever gone out of its way to really have a mission to it. And my mission with this film is to donate 100% of its net proceeds to children with cancer, families in need, veterans in need, homeless people, and try to help communities on the ground anywhere on the planet by making this film available to faith-based communities and allowing them to have a special premiere and invite people who will come and see the film, hear the message that it represents, even though it's entertainment. And then hopefully, one of the actors or myself could be there to explain more and have them donate to that specific institution, and that so that that institution in that community can use that money to help the people in that specific community. So you cut out all these big corporations, you cut out all the middlemen, and you target the communities that need the help the most. And
Right.
there's no hoops to jump through. You just give them the wherewithal to produce it that way. And it for me, that means that I'm touching as many hearts and as lives as I possibly can. Obviously, I'm not God. I cannot save anyone, but I can certainly help them, pay a mortgage payment, pay a car payment to save their car, put them up in a hotel for a month if they need to be close to a loved one going through treatment and things like that.
Wow, that just sounds beautiful. I really love your mission to give it to those who need it most. And I want to be, take the opposite side. Why wouldn't you give it to a cancer society to fund to find the cure? Why are you staying away from that?
Um, my position is this: that a lot of cancer societies, there are a lot of very big ones. Their overheads are so huge. A lot of the money that goes to these organizations, and there's nothing wrong with them. So let me be quite clear on that. There's nothing wrong with them, but they've become such huge corporate giants that a lot of the money that goes to them goes in overhead, hiring employees, the functioning of these huge, organizations, advertising. They do a ton of advertising. And for me personally, this is just a personal choice. Nothing against them. I would never tell anybody to not donate to all the organizations. But there are a lot of smaller organizations out there that are desperate for funds to help people that are doing the same thing. So I would advise everybody to look at everything that's available and donate everywhere they possibly can. But for me, I want the money to go directly to the people that need it and not go through the channels of losing 95% of the funds that are made through another corporation,
Right,
because they're going to take money off of whatever I give them to help them function and distribute the money. Whereas if the money comes directly to my organization, all I need is one person and myself, and we can distribute the money directly from that account, put it in the hands personally of the people that need it. So now we have no overhead, we have no employees, we don't have licensing, we don't have big buildings, and we don't have to, make these huge expensive ads running all the time asking people to donate. We're
right,
showing them what we have, we're giving them the entertainment to enjoy, and then we're asking them to please help donate, and then we will distribute all the money that comes from the film in specific communities all over the world as much as we possibly can. But I will also take some of those funds in the specific communities, that have smaller cancer fighting organizations. There's usually one in every town somewhere in the world, a smaller one that doesn't get the funds needed. And those are places I can go to as well and say, hey, listen, you want to get your members together, show this film, have them donate, not for us, but I will bring it to you for free to help you do this. And then if I'm making some money, I will give you a portion of those funds to your organization locally to help you, because they're on the ground. They know what's going on there.
right,
It's not a big
right.
organization in another country or thousands of miles away that's taking millions of dollars, and 5% of it makes it out.
Wow, that's just a beautiful, beautiful story about really helping out humanity. And there's another question I have, and if it's too difficult to answer, you can just say I choose not to. But every fictional story has a base in reality. Do you know someone that in your life was impacted by cancer?
It does. This story was born um, right after my mother, back in the 90s, the early 90s, was diagnosed with terminal cancer. And during the 3 years that she suffered, and I watched her waste away from 180 pounds to 63 pounds when she finally passed, going through surgeries, going through treatments, just going through absolute hell. It was very hard to watch. And there was a point during all of this that I was just going, I would gladly trade places just to not watch the pain, because I was hurting as well. And unselfishly, I said, hey, I would trade places with you. But then, realizing when my friends told me, but yeah, but if you trade places, then you're not here either. So that really functionally doesn't work for you. So it was very hard to watch my mother go through that and pass away. And before she died, I actually wrote the screenplay, and then it was optioned out for some unbeknownst reasons that I I don't want to bring up from the past. It got put on a shelf, and then I started to go through my own personal issues with becoming disabled, having a terrible motorcycle accident, and then I lost one of my best friends to cancer, and I became disabled, and I just decided, there's really not a whole heck of a good reason for me to stay on this planet. I've lived good. I've been around the world. I've seen a lot. I've learned a lot, and I'm okay with that. And then one of my best friends, Joe, said to me, "A Gift of the Heart was probably one of the greatest things you ever wrote, and it was one of the first ones." He said, "Why don't you write the book version of it and really make it a purpose?" And I took that as a message from God, or look at it any way you want to. But for me, it was faith, and it was a reason for me to wake up every morning and make it a purpose. And the moment I did that and put it all together, I just got a message in my head that it would mean more than just being a film that would tell a story and make money, and make money for me and make money for other people, if I did it unselfishly, and what was the best way I could achieve that. And it was very clear to me that it needed to have a mission, and it needed to be about humanity and not about me, and put everything that comes in on a net basis out there to the rest of the world community, and make it available to them without it costing them money. Especially faith-based organizations, making it available for them to do a premiere without it costing them anything, and then have me come and do a talk about it as well, so that they can garner funds to help themselves locally. So
Wow.
that, and then recently, I was again reminded of the purpose and the meaning of why I'm doing this, because my sister passed away from cancer back in May,
Mm.
and she was diagnosed, and wow, I could not believe how fast she was gone. It went from something small and just completely took over her body, and she was gone in less than 8 weeks.
Oh my God. Did she have pancreatic cancer?
No, it actually started out as a small spot, probably the size of a quarter, in her liver,
Mm.
and then it got into her hip, and it just took off. Um, no, to this day, I mean, even the doctor said, "Well, with no treatment, you got 6 to 8 months." She didn't last 7 weeks. It took over her entire body. It was into her kidneys, into her lungs, into her spine, into her everywhere. And I
Did,
mean,
did she
she
have
went
any
into the hospital.
did she have any
Sorry,
idea before it got the size of a quarter that there was something wrong?
no, she was not feeling well, from what I understand, and she wasn't functioning the way she normally did. So she felt that something was wrong. Of course, she didn't know, and she went in, and they looked. They did blood panels and stuff like that, and then couple of weeks went by, and the doctor said, "You need to go to the hospital." And she said, "Well, why?" He said, "Something's not right. You need to go to the hospital now." So she went to the emergency room, and the doctor said, "Well, we need to check you in." And she said, "Okay, well, when do I come back?" And they said, "No, no, no, no. You don't understand. You're not leaving. You're going in now." And that's when they did all the scans and everything else. This is only about 3 weeks in, and they found it, and they gave her all these options to deal with it. And she spent about a week to a week and a half trying to figure this all out, the paperwork, and you know, when to start chemo and all those things. And she was just starting to cognitively to lose it, and then her body started to poison her system. So she had to go back into the hospital for another week, and her body was basically just turning into this toxic bag, which is what cancer does to you. And so she wasn't eating, she wasn't functioning properly, she was not cognitive, she was cognitively starting to lose it. And then they sent her home, and they said, within a week we need to start chemo, we need to make you eat and everything else. And she got home, and 3 days later, she passed away. So that was pretty much it.
Mm.
And
It's
again, I had to go say goodbye to my sister. My sister was 65. Uh, my mom, when she died, she was 63. So
mm,
my best friend was a little bit older than me in 2012. He was 60 back then. Um, and he didn't, they thought he had pneumonia. And 6 months later, he was dead. The cancer just ate him up.
wow. Well, they say that the greatest gifts that we have in life come to us from pain. You know, I was the author of a book when I was depressed. You know, you look at Edgar Allan Poe, you look at Sylvia Plath, you look at, you know, Picasso. You know, all these people are turning their pain. And I think you hit it right on the head when you said, a friend of yours said, that book you have there is a gift. And you get nowhere in life unless you have a mission. You know, your mission is to help out humanity. And I'm so grateful with my channel here, Community Unity, where we're talking about bringing our world together, that we can have a guest like you to help us out. And time is running short because I've got a class that starts today, and I've got to get moving to my other job in the world. But is there one last message that you have to say to the world? If today was your last day on this earth and you could no longer be here, is there one message that we haven't heard that you want people to know about this project that you haven't
I,
told us so far?
I would like people to go to a giftoftheheart.com and look at everything that we're doing, read our mission statement, see what we have. Uh, we sell shirts and stuff. We use it to try to get the rest of the funding to make the film. And I think the message that I really want people to hear of everything is forgive yourselves for, firstly, for making mistakes. You're not perfect. Forgive yourself for the past. You can't change it. And look to the future and look at the good things in other people's lives and in your own, and the good things that you can accomplish, not only for yourself and be grateful for every day, but be grateful for those that are around you and lift people up. Um, it's amazing what a great feeling it is when I see someone smile from something I've done. That's more powerful than a dollar. You cannot buy somebody's joy, but when you do something from your heart and you truly care, like I do, sorry, I'm getting a little choked up. Um, when they smile, however small, even when you open a door, walk an old lady across the street, or you tell somebody thank you, uh, you know, for simple things, um, that means more. You cannot buy that joy that you see on that person's face.
No, you've actually hit it so much on the head, and I'm very much the same. I sat down this morning. I've got a million things to do, but I had to write out the thank you notes to the people who helped me in my life, of a person who on her own had a really bad fall, and I'd gone ahead and helped her. And when I fractured my toe, um, you know, she was there. And I said, you know, the true friends in the world are the ones that come to help you wherever you are, whatever the thing is. And, you know, that's why you're successful. There's a book that's called Giver's Gain. I think it's no, that's the BNI motto. There's a book that I read, and it's about the gift of giving. And it basically goes ahead and say, when you give gifts without asking anything in return, is when real life sets its joy upon you. And there's a book that I read that was called Lessons from God, and it says that God speaks to you when you do the right things. There's a part in your heart that you just feel that there's someone there that's helping you, that there's someone there that's on your side, and
Right.
you just express that so well. And if someone wanted to reach out and contact you, how could they get a hold of you if they were that magical person, or they had someone or something that they could do for you? What would be the address, the way that they could do that?
the best way to contact me if they want to get a hold of me directly is go to a giftoftheheart.com. If they would like to, purchase any merchandise, all of that goes towards the project or the book, A Gift of the Heart. But they can contact me through a gift of the heart film at gmail.com. And I will respond to them that way. And then, if they want to discuss things beyond the site or want to know more about the film, then I'll open up more lines of communication to them. And, then we can discuss it collectively as to, what exactly they want to do, how far they want to participate, and how I can facilitate helping them help the project, because that's my goal, is to get this done, because that is where the greatest benefit is going to come from to all the people I'm trying to help and the hearts I'm trying to touch.
Well, you've hit it on the head, and there's one person I want to thank, and that's Dr. Mario McKinley. If it wasn't for her, and if you hadn't sent that press release to her, the two of us wouldn't have been here today. And there's a reason that we're talking about this story. So, from the bottom of my heart, I know that when you tell me the story, that you see this each and every day, there is going to be someone who's going to watch this.
Yep.
And they're going to be that person.
I firmly believe that this will be done, but it's going to be done on God's time with the right person at the right time. And I firmly believe that with my heart and my soul. I've been working on this for 6 years. I have sacrificed everything so far, and I have absolutely no problem with it, because I truly believe that this is a message that needs to be sent and a purpose that needs to be followed to help as many people that I possibly can, and hopefully be a light to others to follow suit. Because obviously I will not live forever, but hopefully set an example to others that there are better ways to put a smile on your face when you make somebody else's life better, even though you cannot save them. You may be able to give them a moment of joy, and that is just such a beautiful moment.
Wow. Well, you said it all. I'm so grateful that I was able to get you on IGTV to share your story. A Gift of the Heart. This has been Anderew Heller. Gratitude beyond words, and I look forward to seeing you the next time it's out in a film, and I'm going to be there in that audience and say, look, we made it happen. I did that with another movie that was called A Message to My Mother, and it was about a mother grieving for her daughter. So I've been there once. You could be the next one, baby. We'll be smiling
Hey, there
big
you go.
when that one happens. We'll smile big when that one happens. So I got to let you run. You've got places to go, and I got things to do. So with that,
Yep.
gratitude beyond words. Namaste. And until next time, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
All righty. Bye-bye.